The Season 3 live stream of Zenless Zone Zero just dropped and it delivered a lot of good things. We've got 2 brand new agents, 2 heavyweights returning on rerun, and for a lot of players, this patch is going to be one of the harder pull decisions that start a lot of arguments. But not because the roster is weak, it's actually the opposite. There's a real argument to be made for each of these agents, and the answer is going to look completely differently depending on where your account is. So in today's video, I'll break down Velina, Ye Shunguang, Sunna, Norma. That's who it was. Yeah, Norma. Then help you figure out what's actually worth your limited pulls and what you can afford. I can't believe I forgot Norma. I'm like mid-script read too. This is funny. Anyway, I'm gonna help you guys figure out what your limited pulls should be thrown towards, because yeah, it's not that easy. I mean, it is, but it's not. At least not for the same reasons. Anyway, I'll wrap everything up with my full opinions on a priority breakdown at the end of the list. If you can't tell, I'm barely awake and I got a lot of videos to crank out. You don't care. Let's start the video. Are you tired of losing? Are you tired of losing those 50-50s to bullshit? Well, don't worry, big dog, I got just the deal. Let me show you a popular website that helps gamers buy more for less. Not only can you score games for less, but they've also gotten a partnered top-up services, meaning you can buy your pulls cheaper too.
Oh, that's nice.
On top of that, Aniba offers something else I haven't seen any other site do: a 10% cash back with each purchase. Now I get cheaper pulls and my money back. But wait, there's more. Using my link in the description box will get you all set up to start saving more money today. Now get out there and go pull that new character. First up on the Wave 1 banners, Velina. And I'm gonna say this up front, she's one of the more mechanically interesting kits they've revealed in a while. Specifically because she's the first wind anomaly agent in the game. Her whole thing is triggering anomaly effects both on and off field. She summons wind fields for massive AoE crowd control, which is great for mob heavy content like Shiyu defense, and when her anomaly gauge fills, she triggers a new attribute counter called Windswept. That effect interrupts enemies, deals big wind damage, or big PP wind damage as I like to say, and most importantly applies a wind vulnerability to the target. With Windswept comes a new attribute effect as well called Vortex. We've already got a taste of this currently in the game from the boss Scorching Horizon. If another anomaly triggers on an enemy that's under Windswept, you don't get a standard disorder. You get something called Vortex. Think of it as a cleaner disorder. Same instance of big burst damage, but instead of stacking attribute counters on top of each other, Vortex clears the previous anomalies and has a huge damage multiplier on top of that. From what the trailer showed, it looks like the team was able to re-trigger attribute counters in a pretty consistent rhythm, which, if that's the case, is a huge deal for anomaly playstyles. Take that with a grain of salt until we get early access numbers, but the direction they're going with it looks very intentional. She also has a tornado system that I'm genuinely excited to get my hands on this week. Once she gains 2 wind bite stacks, she drops a massive tornado that has a big AoE CC effect and a huge vortex damage multiplier. There's even a bonus effect where if you defeat enemies inside of it, you'll extend the duration. If you trigger a different element inside of it, the tornado changes colors, enhances that attribute's damage, and lowers the enemy's anomaly buildup resistance. They're calling that effect contamination. Like I swear there's a meme that sounds like what is it? No, I'm right. That is determination from Undertale, but Etika did it. Whatever. Shout out to Etika. That's my boy. I miss him. In terms of teams, Velina is going to slot naturally into anomaly heavy comps. If you're already running Promia, Jane, or another physical anomaly agent, she immediately has a home. She's going to be a significant enabler for wind focused anomaly setups going forward, especially with the new and existing enemies that have wind attribute weaknesses, multiple. There we go. For new players, her value is a little harder to pin down right now since she's the first of her kind in this archetype, but she will be the wind anomaly enabler for the foreseeable future. And that has long-term value that'll only grow as more wind-friendly content and agents get introduced. So should you pull Velina? For current players, if you have Promia, Jane, or you're deep into anomaly, this is a 100% pull. She's going to set the pace for anomaly comps for a while, and for physical agents in particular, she provides a massive boost in performance. Now, I'm not going to tell you where I saw it. If you're on the internet, you know where I saw it. But Jade is OD. I told y'all, bro. I was a true believer. Jade is coming home. She's going to be so nice. Anyway, for new players, this is a little conditional. Her long-term value is there, especially as wind weak content expands, but she's a luxury pull if you don't already have an established anomaly team to slot her into. She's not a wasted character, but you may not feel the full effect immediately. Sharing the Wave 1 banner with Velina is Ye Shunguang, and if you don't know who she is by now, she is the strongest DPS agent in the game. Physical Void Hunter with the properties of Rupture's Defense Ignore, which makes her about as close to a universal damage dealer this game has seen since Miyabi's release. She hits hard, she covers a wide field of range, and she's been at the top of the damage charts consistently since release. I've already got a full guide breaking down how to play her, what she wants, and if you want the deep dive on how all of that comes into play, then the link will be in the description down below, or a little eye bubble in the top right corner. What I want to focus on here is whether you should actually pull her in Season 3. Here's the thing about Ye Shunguang in Season 3 specifically that you need to know. When she first launched, 50% of her best team was already free for most players. Zhao was given away for free. Her team basically built itself, and it was one of the most free-to-play friendly options the game had to offer. Now that's no longer the case. Similar to Haramasa, we probably won't see Zhao on banners for another year or more. Getting Ye Shunguang to peak right now requires premium investment across the board. Her team, some form of vertical investment, and the time to build her. She's still elite, amazing, a goddess if you will, but the barrier to feeling that is higher than it was at launch. For a new player, and I'm speaking from experience of my own free-to-play account, it's significantly easier to go through the game casually while still making great account progress when you have a strong start. That typically means starting with a fully built team from the jump or something close to it so you can save pulls for an essential piece in the future. So to answer whether or not players should pull Ye Shunguang, new players, I'm gonna be honest, especially if you're free to play, you should skip her for now. She is genuinely one of the best DPS agents in the game, but without the premium support to back her up, especially without that free Zhao, you won't feel what makes her special. She is already annoying to manage her Ultra Instinct form, and not having key pieces makes that transformation time take a minute or longer. My advice would be to save those resources and build a more complete foundation first. For current owners, this is way more conditional. Mindscape investment is fine if you want to push her further, but it's not necessary. She performs at a high level just at M0, and M2 makes her irreplaceable for another season or more. You don't have to feel pressured. Now for players with the team already built, if you've been holding out for her rerun and your account can support her, then you can pull the character. She is not going to let you down. Now listen, I love Ye Shunguang. She's one of those agents that just feels good to play with the right investment level, but if I'm being honest, if you're a newer player trying to figure out where your first 90 to 180 pulls go, she probably isn't the right answer for Season 3 specifically, especially because Pyrois is free and incredibly strong right now. You should build your foundation, then come back to ISG when the team around her is ready to go if you still want her. Now Wave 2 is going to open up with Norma, another fire stun agent. And if strong stun gameplay with decent damage is your thing, she's probably got you covered. She's not gonna flip the meta upside down, but she is genuinely a solid addition to the stun roster. Her thing is moderate to high damage with stuns that come in faster than most. She has a skill called Hat Trick that triggers a reverse quick assist, and when she fills her special meter, she converts a quick assist into a chain attack instead. Cough, cough, jafufu. Her hat is actually a bang boo that fights off field whenever she swaps out, building that meter passively and contributing damage on the side. Her EX special is where things get really fun though. Missile Barrage. Cat turrets deployed on the field, and against stunned enemies, she does even more damage. Plus, if the turrets are active during a stun window, those machine guns turn into rocket launchers. So how strong is she actually? Are there numbers to support her being stronger or weaker than another character like Dai Lin? Now, because I want to get ahead of something before it happens, word from the grapevine is that Norma is performing around Jafufu's level rather than Dai Lin's. And I want to be very clear about what that actually means before anyone makes a decision based on a tier list. Jafufu is still performing well in all forms of in-game content. She fits naturally into a wide variety of teams, her ease of use is high, and the buffs she brings to the table are real. If Norma is operating at that level, but just with a different set of tools and team synergies, that is a good thing, not a bad one. What we don't need is another Dai Lin, and I say that obviously with full respect to Dai Lin. She's incredible, but having multiple agents competing for the exact same power ceiling and team slot doesn't benefit most players. A strong, flexible stun agent that normalizes the power floor benefits everyone. You end up with more team options, less anxiety about whether you have the best in slot stunner, and more range across your roster. For Norma's teams, she's going to work naturally alongside standard stun comp setups. Standard stun comp. That's a lot. Anyway, based on early information, Pyrois is the new free ether attack agent and actually has some natural synergy with her. I'll need early access testing to nail down exactly how strong that pairing is, but the connections are there on paper. So to answer the question, should you pull Norma? For new players, skip. You won't need a stun agent at Norma's level for at least 3 to 4 months. That gives you time to wait for a potential rerun or a stun agent that fits your account better down the line. Use that time and those resources on building a stronger foundation. For current players without a meta stun agent, it's kinda conditional. If you don't already have Lighter, Jafufu, Dailin, or Nangong Yu, then Norma absolutely makes sense as your next investment. She's not gonna disappoint you, but don't expect Dailin levels of power either. Finally, for current players with already established stun options, easy skip. She's an alternative, but she's not an upgrade. Unless you're specifically looking to diversify or you just really want her, easily save your pulls, bro. This is like one of the easiest skips in the game. I was considering like actually completely off script, right? Off the cuff. I've been doing vertical investment a lot more on my account, like my main account. Guys, skipping characters feels so nice. I have pulls now. It's ridiculous. I don't gotta spend as much money. I mean, I didn't really spend a lot of money anyway because I got lucky, but like after 2 years of bad luck, I deserve it. Ultimately, I think Norma gets slept on because she doesn't have a flashy "she's broken" headline, but she's still a good stun agent with a unique hit. She has solid damage contribution, and off-field presence is exactly what a lot of your accounts actually want or need, depending on what type of player you are, but whatever. Don't let the Dailin comparisons make you close-minded to Norma. Rounding out wave 2 is Sunna, and she might be the more unique support agents we've received from season 2. The TLDR on Sunna is that she's an incredible support that buffs both attack and anomaly agents simultaneously. She provides fast and consistent ether veils and brings serious stun potential to the team. No other support in the game currently does all of that at once. A support character that brings over 1,000 attack to the entire team and a conditional additional attack based on whatever the attack dealing damage does. Plus the fact that the unique attack is guaranteed to crit with a set crit damage of 150% on top of all of that. Oh, and how could I forget this part? She increases the stun damage multiplier just for activating her additional passive. Why does the support have access to all of that? The world may never know. Even with all that being said, here's where the decision about Sunna can get a little complicated. If you're already running the Angels of Delusion team, or if you own Ye Shunguang, Sunna is a must pull, or as close to a must pull for you as I would like to assume. The value she adds to those specific teams is undeniable. We're talking about a noticeably gigantic leap in performance from a support who fits the exact hit requirements those teams are looking for. If you don't own either of those yet, the situation is easier, I should say. She has solid alternatives for other teams like Astra, Zhao, and surprisingly Yuzuha. The performance gap without the right DPS in place isn't drastic enough to justify 90 to 180 pulls if you're still building out the basics of your account. So Mr. EO, should I pull Sunna? For current players with Angels of Delusions or Ye Shunguang, then yeah. Oh yeah, actually, she's the support you've been waiting for in those team comps. You don't have to second guess yourself. For current players without those teams, she's still a strong support and her universal buffing has a long-term value. But be honest about whether or not your account is actually ready to use her properly before committing to the pools. So it's conditional. Lastly, for new players, unless you're specifically building towards YSG or Angels of Delusion from day one, she's not a priority. Her alternatives cover most use cases well enough while you build up your roster, and we don't have a lot of attack or anomaly agents that depend on ether veil gimmicks right now anyway. This may change in the future though. Now what I keep coming back to with Sunna is that the thing she does, buffing both attack and anomaly while providing consistent ether veils and stun support, is genuinely something no other support can replicate right now. That's gonna matter more and more as the roster expands if the devs decide to actually invest in their unique mechanic designs instead of forgetting about them 4 months post-release. So even if she's a skip for you today, keep an eye on her rerun timing. Both Sunna and Nangong are currently some of the fastest rerun banners we've gotten since launch. So let's wrap all this up. If I'm ranking these four in terms of full priority, here's where I'd land. Velina is my #1 for current players invested in Anomaly. First of her kind, strong kit, incredibly beautiful skin, and she's going to define how when Anomaly plays for a while. If the criteria fits your account, she's definitely worth the pull. Sunna is a close second, but with an asterisk mark. If you have the teams to use her properly, she's incredible. If you don't, she's conditional. The unique hit she brings is something no other support can offer right now, and that has long-term value whether you pull her now or wait for a rerun. Ye Shunguang is the strongest DPS in the game. Let me repeat that. Ye Shunguang is the strongest DPS in the game. I figure if I say it twice, you'd really understand what I'm saying. But Season 3 is a harder environment for new players to justify that pull compared to her initial release. If your account is already set up for YSG, go for it. If not, really think about building the foundation first. And what that means in layman's terms is really consider whether or not you can even play YSG in the first place without having the units to put on her team. I promise you, as strong as she is, and as much as we meme about she can beat anything by herself, which technically she can, it feels like crap. It feels like ass to play her if you don't even have Zhao. No Zhao, no Sunna. Oh my gosh, bro, it's so annoying. And finally, there's Norma. Do not sleep on her just because she's not tier 0 at launch. She's a flexible, fun stun agent with a unique off-field presence, and genuine team utility is a real asset to most of your accounts. If you're missing a meta stun option, she will fill that role. But as always, pull for whoever you want. If you need the priority, my early access content is going to start dropping after the next video, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, just stick around for it. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. I can't say my user intro because I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.